Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and Family, and today we're making a sweet potato pie. This is something we're going to have for our Thanksgiving table. It's very southern, very classic, and so easy and delicious. So I'm going to show you how I do it. I have some sweet potatoes that I baked. You can boil them if you want to. I just chose to bake them. And that way I can put them in the microwave and forget about them for a few minutes while I do other things. So, and they've cooled enough that I can actually handle them now. So I'm just taking my knife and peeling them. And if you get just a tiny bit of that meat, that's okay, because it can be stringy in there. And it doesn't bother me, but some people don't like it. Now, I want about 3 cups of sweet potatoes. I've baked 5 on the smaller side sweet potatoes, and the sweeter they are. So let's get these peeled and get all this sweet potato in this bowl, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what we're going to add to it to make this pie delicious. Okay, so I got all of my sweet potatoes peeled, and it took all 5 of them. They were on the smaller, medium size, so, and I didn't weigh them, so I can't tell you how much in pounds, but it come out to 3 cups. And I've just taken my big blending fork and kind of mashed them around, but we're going to use the mixer to mix these up. So, because we got a lot of good stuff to put in here today. To this, I'm going to add 1 stick of softened butter. I'm not using melted, but I'm going to use salted. So, let's put, I said softened, but yes, this is salted butter. So we're going to put that in there. And now here comes the good stuff. We're going to add, I'm looking at my recipe to make sure I've got everything right. We're going to have to put 1/2 cup of white granulated sugar. And it's not going to be overly sweet, I promise you. Then we're going to use 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And when you use brown sugar, you pack it. Y'all know that. And I'm using light brown sugar. You can use dark brown sugar if you want to. And, if you're out of brown sugar, just take some granulated sugar and mix some molasses in it. And you've got brown sugar. Okay, so now we're going to do 1/2 cup of evaporated milk. If you have 1/2 and 1/2, by all means use the 1/2 and 1/2. But I had evaporated milk today, so I wanted to use it. 1/2 cup. This is just going to make it a little bit richer than regular whole milk will. Oh, it's smelling good already, y'all. When I was baking the potatoes, even Pop Jones come through. He says, "What is that smell?" So we're going to use 2 whole eggs. And now here comes the good stuff. I'm going to use 1/2 teaspoon, 3/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. If you want more, you want less, that's fine, it's up to you. But remember, cinnamon can be a little bit strong. Then we're going to use 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. I know a lot of people don't like nutmeg. I do. If you don't want it, you can leave it out. If you want to put some cloves in it, you can. I prefer not to. and some ginger. I want some ground ginger. So I'm going to put half of a teaspoon of this ground ginger. I like ginger. Okay, and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I have vanilla bean paste. You know I don't measure it. I just pour till I'm happy. And if it's a little more, it's not going to hurt anything. And 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Now, remember, my butter was salted, so you don't want to use too much. And I'm going to go a little bit shy on the salt because my butter was salted. And I think I've got all of my ingredients in here. I'm looking over my recipe, and we're going to mix this together. I have my whisk attachment on here. I'm not pulling out the big mixer today just to do this little pie because it will whip up quickly. It's going to be noisy, so y'all give me a minute, okay? Oh boy, this is coming out so beautiful. And look at my beater. Now, it's about when I peeled it and I took some of the flesh out of there, I got the strings off, so you see that beater came out with, there might be 3 or 4 little strings, so it's going to be a very smooth pie. But I want to taste this filling. I'm not concerned about raw eggs. If you are, mix it up before you put your eggs in and then try it if you want to. I want to make sure if I need to adjust my seasonings. No, we hit that just right. Just right. So I have an unbaked pie crust here. I got this out of the frozen section and I've let it thaw here on my counter. So I'm going to pour, let's move some of this stuff out of our way that we don't need. I'm going to pour this mixture in here. Now this is a deep dish pie crust. Oh, and it's full and I didn't use it all, but you know what? That's okay because you know what I can do? I'll put what I didn't use here in the pie, I'll put it in a ramekin and I'll bake it. Okay, and then we'll just have the sweet potato custard. But I want to kind of ramp it up a little bit. Stephanie and I have been discussing sweet potato pies and what we wanted to do. And this is the one thing we both agreed that we needed was to have some pecans. I don't want many, and I'm not, I guess somebody wanted those. I just threw them in the floor. But I don't want a whole lot, but I want them on the top. So I'm going to just chop them up a little bit. I don't want them too fine. I just want a light chop. So if I've got some larger pieces, that's okay. Looky there. And that's all I'm doing. And I am just going to sprinkle these right on top of this pie. And I'm going to hold it up here so you can see it, okay? Let's move this out of the way. We're done with that. Now, look at that beautiful pie. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so I've got it on this pan. Not that I'm worried about it spilling over, but it's going to make it a little easier for me to put it in the oven. Now, I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and I'm going to bake this pie 55 to 60 minutes. So I think what I'm going to do I'm going to check it at 55, and I'll put my knife or a skewer in it. And if it comes out clean, I know my pie's done. So I'm going to get this in the oven, get it baking, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what it looks like when we're finished, okay? Looky here. I just took this beautiful pie out of the oven. Now, as you know, my oven cooks a little bit slower, so I ended up cooking my pie in about an hour and 20 minutes. But you cook it, how long? Start with 55 to 60. Isn't that beautiful? Now I'm going to let it sit here, and I'm going to let it cool a bit before we try to cut it, because right now it's so hot, and it'll cut better once it has chilled. I could rush it up and put it in the refrigerator, but I really don't want to do that. So let me let this cool, and then we're going to come back and we're going to cut us a nice slice of this pie. All right, I took this pie out of the oven and I've let it cool just a little bit, and I want you to see how pretty that is. Isn't that a beautiful looking pie? But I also, you know, the filling that I had left over, I put it in this ramekin and I baked it off. Now looky there. So that's a serving, or a little over one serving of that. Put some whipped, but we're going to make some whipped cream to go on this. And Pop's coming through. He smells this pie. You want some pie, Pop?
Oh, yeah.
So I've got a cup of heavy whipping cream here. So we're going to make some, but we want to sweeten it up a little bit. Not a whole lot, because we've got the pie. So I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of powdered sugar. I like to use powdered sugar because it seems to dissolve better
Does it?
in the cream. But I don't want just plain whipping cream. I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon, and I'm going to put about a quarter of a teaspoon, just enough to say, ooh, what is that? And then we're going to whip it up. I've got my whisk attachment. You want to start out slow, or you're going to wear it. And it'll soon start getting thicker, and then we can turn it up. We'll have us some good whipped cream to go on this pie. I am so ready to try this, y'all.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Can you smell that cinnamon as I'm whipping this? It's just a fall flavor, isn't it?
It is.
It's one of those warm flavors. So let's slowly start turning it up. And the faster we beat it, the quicker we're going to get this cream going. Oh, so y'all let me get this finished, and I'm going to come back. All right, our cream has thickened up nicely. Isn't that beautiful?
It is.
And I know you know this trick. If you slowly lift your beater out, it'll clean most of it off. Yeah. You remember when we were kids, we'd lick the beaters after our mamas made cake or frosting? That's the best part of it, wasn't it?
It was.
All right, so we're going to save that little bite. All right, so let's cut us a piece of pie. What do you say?
Okay.
We'll just set that over there. I want a spoon for this cream, though. Get our pie. We'll just share a piece right now. What do you say? Oh, it's so pretty. I don't know where to cut. Get through that crust came out so beautiful. Yeah, there is absolutely nothing wrong with taking shortcuts and using a store-bought pie crust. While that's thawing, I can do something else instead of standing and waiting on a pie crust to make. Oh, it's so tender. Can you see the inside of that pie? Isn't that gorgeous? Looky there,
so
Pop. Isn't that beautiful? But we can't eat just plain pie.
We can.
We're not. We're going to put a dollop of whipped cream on it.
Okay.
What do you say? Let's give this a try. I want to move this out of the way. Let me show you what this cream looks like. Can you see the little flecks of cinnamon in there? I don't know if you can see it real good. We're going to take a picture of it. Let's try this.
Okay.
I got to have some cream with mine, though.
I will also.
I'm going to do Brandon's happy dance.
That's very good.
That is delicious. And it's not overly sweet.
I don't like super sweet.
But you know, that is just a delicious, delicious pie.
It almost tastes like a custard.
It does have that custardy feel to it, don't it?
And taste.
Yeah, I hope you try this and make this for your Thanksgiving, Christmas, any time of the year, anytime you want a pie.
Should we be eating in front of everybody? But we are. There you go.
Yeah, one bite. Reach in there and get you a bite. Isn't it good?
That was mean.
That is so good. I am bragging on myself.
It smells good too.
That is so good. Oh, the smell when we were baking this was just out of this world, wasn't it? But I like it because it's not overly sweet. It's not strong with any flavor. One particular flavor. It all melds together beautifully. Yes, hold that up so they can
See the
see.
inside of it. If I
Isn't that
stretch
gorgeous?
far. Look at that.
We're going to make some pictures so you can see. But thanks for joining us today.
See it up there.
Well, thanks for joining us today. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you, and we enjoy having you in our kitchen with us. And we hope you'll come back again. Please like, share, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget, hit that little notification bell so you'll know when we post another video. You ready to go eat some pie?
That's good. Come back to see us, though. We got a lot of exciting things going on between now and Christmas.
We do. We've got some good videos.
Break it up a little bit.
Pop's got a video coming up. We'll let that be a surprise. And so we do. We have a lot of exciting things coming for you.
It's going to be fun.
Yes, it will. But we appreciate you all. Thanks for joining us. Bye, everybody.